Hey y'all, I'm Chris, and this is It Worth It, y'all? And today is our next episode of Quick Canning Cuisine. So excited. Sorry about missing last week. Had a lot going on. So today we are gonna do chicken noodle soup. And you're like, come on, really? It's chicken noodle soup. This is so great because on Quick Canning Cuisine, you guys know that we are trying to bring you recipes to utilize your items that you've already canned or prepared for your pantry for future use. So today's a big one because look, almost everything we have today is a canned product or a stored product. So we have the privilege of using our own carrots and our own celery today that we harvested out of the garden. Garden's almost done for the year. And the biggest thing is some of the staples, actually these four, some of the staples that we believe that you should have in your pantry regardless. Canned corn. We live in an area that has amazing corn and we are grateful to have it. This was done a year ago and every time you open up one of these, it literally tastes like you're eating fresh sweet corn. Ugly chicken, Lisa from Sutton's Days. Thank you. We live on this stuff, okay? Like we will go to Sam's Club and buy every single yellow stickered chicken in there, cut them suckers up and can it. Because this stuff comes in clutch all the time. We use this for everything you could imagine. And today it's gonna be chicken noodle soup. When you have all those chickens cut up, this right here is liquid gold. This is, we're gonna call it poultry stock because sometimes I mix turkeys, carcasses and chicken carcasses and we just put it all in one big pot. You guys have seen the video of our 80 quart pot that we use. It's pretty cool. Actually, no, it's not 80 quart, I think it's 80 gallons. Anyway, it's a big pot we use for shrimp bowls. Anyway, I love these. These are my favorite because every time I look at one of these quart jars, I look at this and go, $10. It's $10 that I made using what some people would consider trash. Every time I make one of these, $10, woo, that I didn't have to spend. This stuff is used, we use this stuff in everything. One other staple that you can make all kinds of recipes out of, chicken soup base. Now, this can turn into chicken noodle soup. You can eat it straight out of the can, chicken soup. You can turn it into chicken pot pie. You could turn it into chicken and dumplings. You could turn it into chicken salad. You could turn it in, there's so many things you can use this for. This is another one of those staples. I consider this an ingredient, not a meal, but you can eat this just like this as a meal. Put a little cream in there if you have it or whatever. Heat it up in a bowl, top it with some cheese or some sour cream. So this is good. This is a meal in of it itself. Two of the dry ingredients that we are gonna use that we always have, egg noodles, and this is split peas. I have regular dried peas, but these are kind of getting a little old and I wanted to use this as the thickening agent. So I think we're gonna use these split peas instead. And so this is going to make our base creamy and add some more protein. So, you know how hard this is gonna be, right? It's quick canning cuisine. I'm literally gonna go throw all of this in that pot right there and I'm gonna turn the heat on and we're gonna let it cook. That's literally it. That's why I wanna get on here and explain to you, if you're going to start your pantry, start canning, buy a pressure canner, because all this stuff has to be pressure canned. The biggest one you can afford, or the biggest one that fits your budget. Start making this stuff. Can proteins, they're so important to have on your shelf. Can stock. This time I think we actually bought chicken feed and put chicken feed in here. This stuff, once we get it in the refrigerator and it cools off a little bit, there's so much good stuff in here. There's so much collagen in here. It actually coagulates. And when you pour it out of the jar, it goes gloop. It's so thick and awesome. So, and everything's shelf stable. Once you use the energy to produce all this stuff, it sits on the shelf and it waits for you to use it. So, all right. It's not hard. This recipe's not hard. I'm literally gonna dump all this stuff in there and turn the heat on and wait till it heats up until the noodles are done and the peas are done. So, I mean, you can stick around for that, but it's kind of boring. But anyway, your staples. Get them on the shelf. And then get them off the shelf and use it for this. So here we go. Okay. Step 1. Take the lid off. Y'all, this is gonna be so easy. It's funny it's so easy because we're gonna do this. We're gonna open up the ugly chicken we did in May of 24. And we're gonna do the juice and all because that's just chicken stock that was made from the chicken in the can. This was chicken soup base January 24. Then we're gonna pull some chicken stock July 24. About 3/4 of that because we are gonna add some of the peas are gonna soak up some stuff. Now I am gonna drain the corn. Not because I don't want the liquid or anything, or the liquid's bad, because it's literally just water. But I want more of the chicken stock than I want water. Here we go. Really hard if I grab a right knife. I'm gonna toss some beans in there. I'm gonna call that a cup. Just about half that bag. Okay, ready? Fire's on. Everybody's starting to rock and roll. I'm gonna toss these in whole. We're gonna use a spatula or a spoon. Toss those in there. Those carrots are clean, but they are fresh, so they're not, they're like, oh no, Chris, there's dirt on it. No, they're just straight out of the garden. And now that I've got everything in and I see the levels, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this stock in there, but I'm gonna go like this. Did you see all the goodness that just fell in there? All right. This is way more than 2 people. This is probably like 4 people's worth. Ready? And when it starts boiling, I'm gonna add probably 1/3 of this bag into here and we're done. Yeah, it's that easy. All right, next step. And we cook until the noodles are soft. Now, here's where you do a taste test. You taste the broth. You see if you like the flavor. If you like the flavor, you leave it alone. I can already tell you, I know that I want pepper. I want onion powder and garlic powder. Because I know whenever I can my stocks, I can the soup base. We put some of our freeze right on there and it rehydrated. That should be plenty. Let me get this little piece. When I can my stocks and my soup bases and whatnot, I try to go bland. I'll maybe do a little bit of salt and pepper, but I want bland because this is a little basil. I want a little basil today, I think. I want to be able to create whatever flavors I want, especially with the stock, because I mean, we cook stock. We cook spaghetti in stock. We cook macaroni and cheese in stock. We cook rice in stock. So I want that stock to have good flavor and good nutrition. I just don't want it to have strong flavors. So, all right, egg noodles don't take that long. 3-4 more minutes. We're serving up. All right, we're gonna do a little test on these noodles, see how we're looking. See how much of that liquid went away because of those noodles and those peas? I'm glad we added the rest of that. Still crunchy. Okay. A couple more minutes. It's looking good though. It smells really good. All right, I think we're there. I tested a noodle. Yeah, look at how much of the liquid's gone. Isn't that awesome? All right. Now, if you want yours to be more liquidy, you can definitely add some more broth in there. I like this. The other thing I like is we're gonna have to put some of this in to-go containers, and I do not want those noodles to swell up too bad. So I think this is perfect. All right, taste test, here we go. All right, y'all, this is hot. Look at that. Chicken soup facial. All right, so I'm gonna grab some chicken. Now, what's cool is everything in here was cooked. So if I wanted to just like make the noodles and throw everything on top of the noodles, I could have done it that way as well. Oh my goodness. The peas need to go just a little bit more. But I think as it sits here and kind of marinades, the peas will hydrate a little bit better. The noodles are perfect. Everything else is perfect. I mean, it tastes good. You saw how hard it was. Dump, 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 turn the fire on. This is our version of fast food and we absolutely love it. So I know this wasn't technically difficult, but I hope it inspired you to use some of the stuff that you have on your shelf. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until we see you on the next video, bye y'all. I'm gonna go get me some food.